time for the best coverage of high school football in the Valley. This is the Best Local Sports Show with Sports Director Blake Arthur, Sports Anchor Bailey Arredondo, and the News Channel 3 Sports Team.
Rain coming down, football going down. Week 4 of the season is one we will never forget. A nice change from the heat with rain and wind, making for unusual desert conditions. See which of our local teams were able to withstand the weather and prevail victorious.
There's only one place you get to see highlights and scores from all the games. It's good to be indoors, but hey, outdoors look pretty fun. Kick your feet up, stay a while. The Best Local Sports Show starts right now.
Oh man, it's coming down.
Rain or shine, you're watching high school football, the Best Local Sports Show.
Welcome into the Best Local Sports Show. I'm Sports Director Blake Arthur alongside Bailey Arredondo. Good to have you back, Bailey, for week 4 of the season with weather playing a major factor. The effects of Hurricane K were felt here on the Valley floor, impacting travel and playing conditions. But look, Bailey, I'll be honest, I was kind of excited about the change of weather. Rainy conditions making for muddy fields, dirty jerseys, and definitely a different style of play. And we don't get this very much, so you got to take advantage.
The desert is different. We were sweating through the rain. Haven't sweated in rain before, but look, we didn't know how many of games would actually be played here in week 4 due to the conditions. But with passion and perseverance, all the games on the slate were played. And in my opinion, there really was an advantage for either team. Our local teams are used to playing in 100-degree heat. Tonight, not the story.
Yeah, it came down who would handle adversity. And speaking of adversity, Palm Springs lost last week in a heartbreaker. They fumbled at the goal line going to score the game winner, and Eisenhower recovered it and took it the other way for the game-winning score of their own. So tough way to lose the game if you're Palm Springs. Time to turn the page this week, hosting Knight out of Palmdale, and the Tribe came out hitting. Defense making all kinds of plays all game. Devon Gray with the sack there, and then more damage up front. The defense making plays. That's Malachi Whaley hopping on the loose ball, getting the fumble. Offensively, starts and ends with Javen Kapler, the quarterback. Rolls out, puts it in the breadbasket for Braden Hapner, keeps his feet in bounds, but Bailey, only problem, laundry on the field, holding call brought it back. Still a sweet play, though, worth showing, right?
Yeah, 2 of the best talents we have in the desert.
Absolutely, and the Indians would control the game on the ground the rest of the way. Francisco Yanez, senior captain, huge game running the rock, touchdown there off the right side. Really just a dominant performance, start to finish for Palm Springs at home. Head coach Dan Murphy had to be proud of his bunch to rebound in the fashion they did as the Indians get the shutout overnight. 42-zip the final. Palm Springs with a nice bounce-back win at home in front of the fans at Ralph Watts Stadium.
Tonight's game, I mean, it was all of us, team effort. You've seen plays from everyone, I just thankful to have this team, have my brothers, and we're all going to play hard.
Well, yeah, the weather, at least it wasn't 115 out here tonight. A little different in pregame. Early house, a lot of the kids have never played in the rain, so they were excited to do that. Kids had a great week of practice, trying to get back on track from our overtime loss last week. Proud of the kids, the way they competed, but there's a lot of things we got to clean up.
It was a good game tonight, big bounce back win. We just came together and put everything together this week.
Springs on me, Springs on 3, 1, 2, 3, Springs! They made 42 points look easy.
And they did. And before the game, I talked to Kapler, and he said, I was like, hey, you going to run the football a lot tonight because of the weather? He's like, no, we're going to chuck it. We're going to do our thing. That Javen Kapler, he's fun to watch.
He's a gamer.
Yeah, he is. So are you, by the way, because we're rolling on with the show. Another Desert Empire League team at home this week. Palm Desert taking on Santiago. And Bailey, let's be honest, this was a game the Aztecs were expected to win.
Yeah, Santiago came in from Corona winless on the season. A golden opportunity for the Aztecs. And the Aztecs, they're a team that takes advantage of opportunities. Coming off a juiced OT win, the Aztecs, and how about the future Aztec cheerleaders excited to be back at home? Aztecs' first drive, they marched down the field with a few 10-plus yards by Dimitri Chester and reward him with the TD of his own. Aztecs draw first blood, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Feed 5. Chester wasn't done. We call this a house call. Palm Desert up big. Blake, when they're dynamic like this, they're hard to stop.
They are, and Chester, he's so shifty, hard to tackle. He's so quick, explosive. He's a little guy, but he can make plays.
He can make plays, and so can the defense and special teams. All 3 phases of the ball matter. They get a pump block here, but that ball was moist, as we saw in all games with the weather conditions. Aztecs get the ball back. Brady Clemmer, he's been waiting patiently to get the senior starting quarterback role, and he's taking advantage of it. Finds his guy, Cameron Tice. That's got to be one of the deadliest combos we have out here in the 7-6-0. Despite the moisture, PD looking to fire on all cylinders. I'd put Clemmer and Tice up there as the best passing combo up in the 7-6-0. Also add Dimitri Chester as well. Aztecs poured on Santiago, improved to 3-1. They're back on the road next week at Tustin.
The Tillers of Tustin. I actually grew up in Tustin. Did not go to Tustin High, though, but did grow up in Tustin. So that is,
We know three strikes.
All right, hey, we're just getting started with the show. Coming up, the Rattlers in the Snake Pit. Rancho Mirage tries to get their first win of the year.
Plus, a couple of Thursday games featuring a pair of BEL squads. Xavier Prep, LQ, Q-Block. One team lost, one team won. Find out who did after the break. We got highlight scores and much more. You're watching high school football on the best local sports show.
You're watching high school football on the best local sports show.
Welcome back to the Best Local Sports Show. Blake Arthur here with Bailey Arredondo. By the way, going back to Palm Desert, Brady Clemmer, their quarterback.
Yeah.
Big Charger fan like yourself.
Really?
Yeah.
B. Clem.
B. Clem loves the Bolts.
I love it.
Yeah.
Me too.
NFL back this week, so.
Yeah, good to be back. He's got a little bit of a Herbert arm.
Yeah, he kind of does. You'll have all the NFL coverage on Sunday. All right, we continue our coverage of the Best Local Sports Show Week 4 edition with one of the best programs in the area, Rancho Mirage. However, the Rattlers' record really doesn't say so, at least so far. They came into this week without a win on the season, Bailey.
Yeah, Blake, Rancho has yet to find their rhythm, yet to find their identity, but the best place for them to do so is at home.
Yeah, Rattlers, as they do, walking down into Jerry Argovitz Stadium. What a yard that is. Nice facility there. The Braves of Norte Vista in town out of Riverside. Just hope they had safe travels to the game. But, Bailey, because of the weather, stands not as full as we're used to seeing. The umbrella's certainly out. It was Poppins like Mary Poppins.
Okay.
Early first quarter, first possession of the game for Norte Vista. They fumble the snap, but they get it to Brian Temple, and the senior makes something out of nothing. Heck, he makes a lot out of the broken play all the way to the house. Touchdown there made it 7-0 Norte Vista, and they would add to it. Damon Iosefa. Now, he's listed at 6'2", 230 pounds. I don't think he's that big, but he did make some big plays both on offense and defense for the Braves, including this touchdown here, 14-0 Norte. Rattlers struggled to move the ball, but Luke Hirschberger gives Zaire Rivas a chance to make a play, and Rivas did. The problem is that later in the drive, Hirschberger would get sacked, and the Rattlers offense really just didn't do much all game. The Rattlers lose yet again, 22-6 at home to Norte Vista. Rancho Mirage 0-4 to start the year. The bye week next week could not have come at a more important time for this team as they look to regroup before league play.
Back to Thursday night football. TNF La Quinta at home against Redlands, looking for certainly a bounce back after a big-time loss last week to CV at home. But they're without a few of their top stars, senior captains, quarterback Tommy Ansley and Isaiah Alvarado, both out. So an uphill battle before the game even started, and anytime you turn the ball over like that, it's going to cost you. Redlands got out to an early 7-0 lead. They just grounded and pounded down the throats of LQ. Aiden Nzabuga had some nice runs for the Blackhawks. The boys call him Boog. He's only a sophomore, and he's just really fun to watch.
Booga.
Couple of flashes of what he did in week 1. We had 3 tutties against Carter and Rialto on the road. But LQ was unable to capitalize, and the Terriers took advantage. Blackhawks battled in the second half, showed some heart, showed what their identity is about, play until the whistle's called, 28-13 the final. LQ falls to 1-2 on the season. Hopefully Tommy Ansley will be back next week.
Yeah, Ansley, fun to watch, and I feel like LQ goes as he goes. Also
Certainly.
on Thursday, Xavier Prep on the road in Riverside against Notre Dame. Saints trying to snap their 3-game losing streak, and they would do so. Perfect start here. Jalen Malcolm.
Freshman?
This kid's only in 9th grade. Can you
Freshman?
believe that? 70 yards to the barn. First offensive play for Xavier Prep, but it wasn't all offense. Kyle Hill with the sack off the edge.
He's a
making
player.
a play for the defense. He is. He's a monster off the edge, and the Saints would continue to pile it on offensively. Ryder Ruiz up top. TJ Bosley, another touchdown for Prep, and this would continue throughout the Thursday night. More Ruiz. Bailey, this might be your favorite play of the week. I know it's your favorite play of the week. Might be your favorite play of the year, to his little brother Tyson. Get 21 the ball and let him work. Look at this. Whoop.
I mean, that's instincts. You don't teach that.
You can't coach that. I mean, he made a couple defenders miss on that one. I know Mama Brooke Ruiz, big fan of the show.
What are they cooking at that house?
Had to be a big fan of that. I don't know, but
It's working.
We're going to get the invite over there one of these days. I know that for sure. Right, Brooke? We're coming over for dinner one of these nights. Saints would get the win. They would roll their first win of the season, 47-13, the final. All right, coming up, Cathedral City was at home on a Friday night. The Lions welcoming Paris to the Den. Highlights are ahead. Plus, what we got, Bailey?
Plays of the week. Find out who made our top 3 plays. Only 3 make it. Very exclusive. You're watching high school football. You know where. It's the best local sports show.
You're watching high school football on the best local sports show.
How did they know? I'm Bailey Redondo. He's Blake Arthur. Welcome back into our Thousand Palms studios. We have one more game of highlights, and as you can tell, we're over at Cathedral City, a team that graduated really some of the best football talent we had in our desert, and they're looking for their first win of the season.
Yeah, Cathedral City plays their best football at the Lions Den, as you see why, but no advantage under the weather conditions, and, well, we had some weather, right, Bailey?
It was a light sprinkle to start, but rest assured Cathedral City still bringing the energy. Hit that dab on them in the black hole. It's game on. Lions were desperate for a W. Visiting Paris wants otherwise. Cat City scored first, and then on the ensuing Paris drive, Lions get a big stop on 2nd down, but the next play Paris capitalizes on a fallen player. We're all tied up. Lions offense back on the field. Sophomore running back Noah Gannon. This is the year of the running back. Slips and gains extra yardage on the run. Ball security was a pivotal point in this game. Quarterback Dylan Levenses uses his legs for the first down. Ball pops out, but don't worry, Levenses was ruled down. Rene Ramiro would cap it off. He would be the X factor for Cathedral City. Finds the end zone, puts Cat City up 6, but Paris would storm back in the second half. They come back to beat the Lions 27-19. A heartbreaker as Cathedral City falls to 0-3.
Hey, that video was pretty clean. You shoot that? That was from up top.
I try.
Ooh, that was crispy, icy. All right, take a look at some scores. Shadow Hill shut out at Serrano, falling 14-0 in Phelan. The Knights now 2-2. Yucca Valley rolled Morningside on the High Desert, now 2-1 on the year. And 29 Palms, DCA both lost on Thursday. All right, finishing the show as we do all season with our plays of the week. It's simple. We pick the nominees. You pick the winner. Number 1, Luke Hirschberger scrambles to find Zaire Rivas.
He got up.
Heck of a catch, yeah, for the Rattlers to sustain the drive, but unfortunately in a loss for Rancho Mirage.
Number 2, Dimitri Chester. We call this a melt in the business, and DC is all business on the green grass. A multi-touchdown performance in the Aztecs win. 1 passing, 1 running. He had it all. We can tell who's been putting in work. Chester 2K, the desert sees you, we see you.
And last but not least, number 3, Tyson Ruiz. One of the best plays of the year. The juke right there, in for the touchdown. Some Madden moves, as Bailey likes to call it. Now, be sure to vote for our favorite play of the week on our website. Your favorite play of the week on our website. The winning play will be announced on Monday. All right, that's it for this week's edition of the Best Local Sports Show. As always, thank you to our hardworking team that makes this all possible, and thank you for watching. He's Bailey Redondo. I'm Blake Arthur. BA's out.
Peace.
News Channel 3 is now available on any of these streaming services and on KESQ.com.